Christmas for me has always been my favorite holiday. It's a day about family. It's a day about love. It's a day about, kind of realizing what's really important. So, I think it was probably about 6 years ago now that we had started to entertain the idea of starting a family. And as the months went on, we were like, well, it's not our time. And unfortunately, those months then turned into years, and we started kind of scratching our heads as to thinking, why hasn't this happened yet? So, we just kind of try to keep our faith in God and just know that there's a time and a place for everything. And we were able to stay strong for the first couple of years, and then we started to kind of get into the little what's wrong and why hasn't this happened for us? And there was no real reason as to why it wasn't happening. So as time went on, we started becoming more open to the idea of adoption.
I think the change, because I had stage 4 endometriosis removed, and when I had that removed, they said that this would be the best time to get pregnant. So we did the fertility treatments, and they didn't work. So pretty much after that, I was kind of like, the odds are not great.
She felt as if we adopted, that she was giving up, that she was throwing in the towel on conceiving, and it took her a little while to come around that that's not the case at all. This may be our path that God has intended for us, and we had to endure this heartache and this pain to get comfortable going down that path. And they said, we can't guarantee when you're going to get a baby. We can't guarantee if it's going to be a boy or a girl, what the baby's going to look like, but what we can guarantee is we will get you a baby.
Yeah, the toll that it takes on you every single month, getting a negative, and finally someone to say, like, you're going to get a positive. It won't be a baby that, is growing inside of me, but I will be a mommy. That was the best feeling.
I could see a whole new light coming out of Faith that had dimmed through this whole process, a weight off her shoulders that had been lifted because we were on that process. And something that is difficult is you do all these things and you're used to this time frame, and we got to be professionals at waiting.
I would always pray for our birth mom, and so I would always pray for a confident birth mom, confident in her decision, and that we just clicked, that we were just like a family immediately.
So we went in for a meeting and kind of talked through it, and that's the first time we heard Hannah's name.
When I heard Hannah's name, I got goosies head to toe, and I immediately thought of the story in the Bible about Hannah, how she prayed and prayed and prayed for her son, and God finally gave her a son, and then she dedicated it back to him. So it was kind of beautiful that Hannah did that for us.
And so the agency calls her phone.
Yeah, and the coordinator said, I think you should put this on speakerphone. And so she said, she was like, I think that you guys have heard about Hannah. And we're like, yeah. And she's like, well, she picked you. And we just started crying.
Yeah.
We lost, it was just, we'd waited so long for the call. So the way that we announced that we were adopting was we went to New York, and for some reason I wanted to go see Santa at Macy's. So they took us into one, and we kind of told him what we were thinking. We're like, do you mind if we whisper in your ear? And he's like, well, may I ask what your secret is? And I was like, we're adopting. And he was like, that's amazing. He's like, I'll be praying for you guys.
I'm coming out of the cold. I'm coming out of the cold. From the sidewalk I see the glow. I'm coming out of the cold to Christmas at home.
And so knowing that not only is Hannah so firm in her decision, but she has the support from the people that are most important to her, it just solidifies it even more so for us. So
her mom told us that at the first of the year, her brother's wife had asked her what she wanted her to pray for, and she said babies and people struggling with infertility. So she's been praying for us, and it's just so beautiful that her daughter is the one that gave us our babies.
kind of answer those prayers.
Yeah.
I'm coming out of the cold. I'm coming out of the cold. From the sidewalk I see the glow. I'm coming out of the cold. I'm coming out of the cold. I'm coming out of the cold. From the sidewalk I feel the glow. coming out of the cold to Christmas at home.
And so it's probably about 8:30 at night, and I get a text from Hannah, basically saying, "Hey, I'm going to the hospital." But so we end up getting to the hospital, and it just felt meant to be. You know, we were in the room with Hannah, and through the whole process, she was so selfless and literally just treated the whole thing almost as she was our surrogate. So all of the medical decisions that were to be made were left up to us. She graced us with being able to be into the room when Monroe was born. Faith had the opportunity to do the very first skin to skin. I got to cut the umbilical cord. So we really got to get this full birthing experience that I think a lot of adoptive parents may not get. And really we can only thank Hannah for that, for being so open and honest with that.
And then they put our rooms back to back, so we would wheel Monroe from our room to Hannah's room, and we would hang out all day and like share meals.
And our lives will never be the same in a great way because of what Hannah was able to do for us.
She was worth everything. She was worth the entire weight. And the heartbreak and the pain and the struggle.
Yeah. Such a celebration of the struggle and such a celebration of the feeling that we have now, which is just, complete wholeness, just happiness. The first couple of weeks we're driving around and I'm like, I'm just so happy, you know what I mean? Because, you don't realize how big certain voids are until they get filled.
I found myself, I'll be rocking her to sleep and I'll just start crying because I'm just so thankful to God for, blessing us with her.
I'm coming out of the cold. I'm coming out of the cold. From the sidewalk I see the glow. I'm coming out of the cold to Christmas at home.
To be able to receive all of that love and outpouring of congratulations and stuff from our friends and family and strangers was really, really cool. And it really, I think at that point, started mending and healing some of those wounds that we had developed over that long waiting process. And then Faith always had this vision, for whatever reason, of bringing home a child around Christmas time. And I think it's all goes back to that thing of family and what's really important.
So having Monroe has shown me there's never a reason to worry about anything. I mean, I just truly think that what's meant to be will be. It always works out. Like, God will always get you to where you need to be or you're supposed to be. Sometimes it's not what we want it to be, but in the end, it always works out.
I ring the doorbell and hold my breath. I'm so close now, just one more step in the arms of my family, beautiful as can